You want to know how I got these stars?
Hello everyone, it's me, Heather. Feather. And today I am going to hang out with you and take you on a behind the scenes tour of my ASMR movie, You're a Star, and show you how I created some of the sounds in it. Okay, so let's get started. I used over 40 ASMR triggers and Foley sounds to create the soundscapes you heard, and I would like to show you some special ones I think you may find surprising, weird, and some that will be very familiar, I hope. I wrote You're a Star in 2015. I originally wrote it for virtual reality. It was supposed to be this experience where you could look around and the sounds would move with the direction that your head turned in. All of the sounds were supposed to be recorded with this. Between then and now, a lot happened, a lot changed, and for me, the version of You're a Star that you see on my channel signifies battle. It's symbolic of, for me, overcoming failure after failure after setback after setback. For you, I wanted it to represent a bunch of different things, and I hope it resonated with you in some way. Or, at the very least, I wanted it to make you think our universe is really amazing, because it is. For science.
You monster.
When I asked 20 Decibels,
Also known as Josh,
if he would be willing to work on this endeavor with me, I knew he could do good work creating the visuals for the theme because I had worked with him before. You probably don't know that Josh was a longtime collaborator on the ASMR Requests channel, co-writer of Departure and Episode 2, and did all of the visual effects for both episodes of Departure, and a lot of other videos that are well known and beloved in the ASMR corner of YouTube. In my wildest dreams, I never thought I would have a video look as beautiful as it does. Josh created the visuals, all of the visuals, in After Effects, which is mind-boggling to me as someone who can barely chroma key out a green screen. It was very important to me that no one could claim any part of my video, so I didn't want any stock footage. I wanted only original world building. So I sent Josh pictures of kitchen tiles and nail polish that inspired me as far as textures and colors, in the hopes that he would incorporate them in some way. I told him that I wanted to be like the sun baby from the show Teletubbies. So to recap, he had my script, pictures of tiles, nail polish, a sun baby, and he created a stunning universe out of it. Josh and I had the vision for the trailer for the video mapped out on paper before the video was even done. If you have ever been to one of my secret streams, you may have heard me say hello to someone who I called the composer. Lee is a longtime viewer. I knew that he made beautiful music, hence calling him the composer. He had sent me work he had done for NASA? For real? For NASA? And it was, of course, gorgeous. I thought perhaps I could use some of his work in a trailer for You're a Star. But when I asked, Lee offered to make an original score for the video. Every note was created with the video and ASMR in mind. I never thought I could ever have something like this in a video, and I couldn't be more honored to not only collaborate with someone who is super talented, but also someone who has been a viewer for years and years. Green screening is now a super common practice in ASMR creation, but when ASMR was just starting to emerge on YouTube, ASMR videos were largely audio of people whispering. To my knowledge, the first time green screens were ever utilized in ASMR creation were on ASMR Requests channel. For Departure Episode 2, I was asked to make a cameo as a pirate. So I needed to first get a green screen. And I did. Sort of. Via a $5 plastic shower curtain that was lit by shadeless lamps on my floor. My setup has since evolved to become the real star agent that leads you around your galaxy and you're a star. I had to wear a green hood. The problem was that there was a little dimple at the top of the hood that created a shadow. Not to worry, Heather Feather Studios is super high-tech now, and the issue was solved by using state-of-the-art potato chip bag clips securely attached to a long braid of hair, like the spine of a xenomorph from the Aliens franchise. The sound effects for the orb were created using a chime and a woodwick candle. I bought a bunch of different chimes in the hopes of finding a very twinkly one. I wanted to be sort of like a mix between the Blue Fairy from Pinocchio and Tinkerbell from Peter Pan. After I had made the chime selection, when I went onto Amazon to see if I could return the other chimes, I discovered that the chime I had selected to use was called Starlight. This was not done on purpose. It was 100% pure coincidence. And it was one of those moments making this video where things felt like they were right. The orb was probably the hardest thing to edit sound-wise because I had to record the chime sounds, watching the footage, so that I could match the panning directions and speed of the animation. And then I had to do it all over again with the woodwick candle, sync it up to the tracks of the chime, and then, ever so tediously, adjust the volume of each track so that neither track overpowered the other or the other sounds in the scene. The first body you, the viewer, would be approaching in the video was the sun. And then after, we would be visiting a lava planet called
Sto Theos.
Both soundscapes were related, so I had to figure out how to create the soundscape for each one while keeping the sounds unique to each. To do this, I planned out dry fire sounds for the sun and wet fire sounds for Sto Theos. For the sun, I used this. Just kidding. No, I did not. This produced next to no sound and flung wax all over the carpet when I tried to move it around the mic. The truth is, I used weirder things. The Lightspeed sequences were made with a pressurized air can for keyboards, and dragging the length of my arm across the ears of the microphone. When the real estate agent would come close to the viewer, I would drag my palm over the ear to make it sound like the orb was passing behind the viewer. As the viewer would leave the Lightspeed segment, I would finish traveling the length of my palm and fingers, so it would create a sound that marked being ejected. Our first stop in the video is of Sto Theos. When creating the names of the planets, I came up with what I wanted them to be in English, and then found their counterparts in other languages in Google Translate. So Sto Theo should relate in some way to Volcano God. This planet soundscape needed to be languid and indomitable. Sto Theos was created using over 20 layers of sounds. These sounds included blowing bubbles in oatmeal, stirring oatmeal with my hand, blowing bubbles in pancake syrup, baking soda and vinegar, a face steamer that you may recognize from way back in my channel's history and my spa videos.
Bacon sizzling in a pan. Water pouring on concrete.
And pouring uncooked rice onto itself. The next stop was Nubila, the planet of
Metallic rain and mist.
For the rain, I wrapped my mic up in plastic and I set it loose in the wild during a rainstorm. But when I listened to the playback, I didn't like how loud the drops of water were on the top of the mic. I enlisted the talents of
ASMR Gaffer
for help with sound mastering. He saved me days of work with his background in sound engineering by adjusting the audio so that I didn't have to manually adjust hundreds and hundreds of individual raindrops. The mist was not captured in the wild. This was done by covering the mic with a fabric and then spraying down onto it from a height of 8 or 9 feet with a spray bottle. And then I layered it all together. The third planet we visited was Periculum Glossy, which should mean
dangerous ice.
Based on the comments on the video across social media, this planet seems to be pretty popular. I am really pleased that you like the sound of this planet, because I have been trying to get you to like this sound since 2012, 2013, and you wouldn't like it, and I really wanted you to like it. Hopefully this planet sounded like cracking ice to you. It was not crackling ice. It was real snow falling onto the microphone. Alka-Seltzer. And this. And you guys finally got on the pinecone train. By the way, pine cones are awesome, and we should talk about them in another video. Just in general. They're really cool. They have a rich history. I'll stop talking about them. I used the Alka-Seltzer to communicate heat, and the pine cone to communicate ice. Josh made a little Ice 10 cave.
Ice 10 is real, by the way, guys. Look it up.
And it was a good opportunity to incorporate some immersive echoing into the video, and I really liked when people would notice it, it made me very excited that some people appreciated that little touch. Periculum Glossy is the place to be. Our fourth stop was Swabiz Macula, which I hope is Latin for
Sweet spot.
it is the planet most like Earth in the video, because it's in the perfect place for life to be possible. Earth truly is the most incredible planet, and it's really easy not to see it that way because we live on it. Right as you arrive at Swabiz Macula, a moon crosses your path. For that sound, I used ear cupping to create the bassy rumble. AS R recorded real ocean waves crashing for me, which I used for the macro shots of the planet. I also bought this ocean wave drum for artificial crashing waves. I wrapped it up in a blanket, and then I tilted it slowly from side to side. The surface shots of the planet were Foleyed using water gems, a viewer favorite from way back when on my channel. And another old favorite, the blanket fort ears. I wanted this planet to feel like home, so I used sounds that also might have felt like home on this channel for people who have been watching since the beginning. The last planet we visit in the video is Ventus Custos,
The Wind Guardian.
I wrote Ventus Custos as a mixture between Jupiter,
Saturn.
and an exoplanet called
55 Cancri.
and I don't know if I pronounced that right. If I did it wrong, I'm really sorry.
I'm so sorry, NASA. I'm so sorry.
Ventus Custos was the
Behemoth of wind and thunder.
The wind was created by blowing into the ears of the microphone. I also used a face mister from old videos on my channel. The thunder was probably my biggest challenge as far as Foleying goes. I bought this. From what I understand, it's how artificial thunder was created in theater and in early Foley work. ASMR Gaffer helped me again with his audio background by getting rid of the spring sounds that were present in the recordings. He also pitched the thunder down for me so it was more of a distant rumble instead of a crash. Then ASMR came up with a for real genius way to make a closer sounding thunder sound. And as far as we know, no one has ever done what he did, which is why I can't tell you what he did. It's a secret sound recipe. I wanted the soundscape to be like Sailor Jupiter. If you don't know her, she's a fictional character who was tough as nails and very protective, but she was also sensitive and caring. Lee's score for this planet was my favorite because it did a really great job of balancing out the foreboding soundscape with a delicateness that I couldn't achieve otherwise. When I first heard the track for this planet, the hair on my arms stood up. I really felt like Lee got it. It was perfect. At the end of the video is a cat constellation, and it's not there just because I love cats, which I do. If you've been a long-time viewer, you probably know my cats well via their appearances in my videos and bloopers. My cat, Tiny Horse, passed away recently, and I asked Josh to put a little tribute for her in the video. She was my friend for almost 18 years, more than half my life. I wanted something to show that she existed and was important. I didn't know how it was going to look. And when Josh showed it to me, I cried. I showed my family, and they cried. And some of you guys said that you cried too. And even though I don't want you to feel sad, it means something to me that you remembered her. And you felt something for her, because I love her. It was hard getting back here, and I am still finding my footing, but you gave me the best possible restart I could hope for. Thank you to everyone who made me feel welcome again, or encouraged me, or kind to me, made me laugh. Just thank you for everything. And I will see you soon in a new video.
Good night. Sleep well.
Bye.